Again. Oops. Yes, that's right. We're going to get right into it because that's how we roll right now. Welcome back to the Shine Within podcast. I have the pleasure and honor of welcoming back Steph Rowe. I just cannot, I love this lady here. She brings so much joy in my life. And I'm literally, because you probably see me wearing sparkles right now, I look like a disco ball. It's because of the inspiration of Steph. I get inspired by her because she put out an incredible book called Fiercely Me. You know, if you can see this, this is her memoir about, how she just is just resilient. This is a resilient human being and what she's gone through, and it's an incredible story. So definitely read it because there's each chapter is different parts of her life. I would say, right,
Yes, yes.
Steph? Yes, and so do take a look at that book. But today she has a new book, a poetry book. So we're going to talk about that. It's called The World in Our Words. And I know there's like 24 contributors, poets that have contributed to this book. And I'm just so excited to have you on my show. You bring so much joy in my life. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
Thank you for having me back, firstly, and thank you for being so beautiful. Oh my God. I like and good morning, good day, and good evening and good afternoon to everybody in the world. But like I am so insanely happy to be here. Like you bring joy. Like I think of you and my heart warms. Like that's the
Oh,
type of person that you are. So I'm so happy that I get to come back and talk to you again because it's like we had so much fun last time as well.
I
And
know.
I'm so excited because yes, my book is actually out. It's physical and there's beautiful photos. I love this. I love that I made the effort to do this because there was so much pushback from like a lot of people to do this. But look at the photos in the book. Like anyway, and I took all the photos as well, so I'm pretty proud of the book. But we are here today to talk about the world in our words. And the reason why this book is so special is because, as we both know, life is really hard. Yeah. And like, I suffer from anxiety, I've got complex PTSD. But then you look out into the world at the moment and you have wars and you have shootings and stabbings and you have difference in religions, you have different ideology, different political positions, and everybody is just like that. It's almost like this melting pot of just really kind of a lot of sadness. And I think a lot of empaths are feeling that. They're feeling deeply what is happening in the world at the moment, and they're sad, because it is a sad kind of sorry affairs. But this book, this poetry book, was my way of kind of putting down the swords. It was my way of going, yeah, we might have a difference of opinion, Gina, but we're not going to, what we're going to focus on is something else. And so it's about putting down the ideologies. It's about understanding that, yes, there is people dying right now for different reasons. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring and birth something into this world where it shows that we are human, that we are humanity, that we do have the ability to contribute in really positive ways. And so this book is my way of demonstrating that it does, yes, there is all these things that are happening, but we have the ability to still unite, and we
Mhm.
still have the ability to come together and to create really, really, really special things. And so this book has 24 poets from all walks of life, from all abilities. We have, like, it's so interesting how, because I didn't put anything on it. I didn't put any conditions on it. I didn't tell anybody that they had to write about a certain thing. Like, I just was like, if you want to write, if you want to be published as a poet, you give me your work and I will do that. And that's all I did. And so what came out of that was this beautiful, beautiful work from all these different people from around the world. And I didn't even reduce it down to just having English. I was like, if you have a native tongue that you would like to have your poems published in, I'm more than happy to publish them in your native tongue. And so out of that, we have 4 languages. So we have Vietnamese, we have Portuguese, we have Spanish, and we have Hebrew, as well as English. So technically, we have 5. And so we were lucky enough that some of the people translated their poems into English, and then other poems are just in their native tongue. And I think that's really, really cool. Like, it's cool just to see something other than English on a page, right? Yeah, so it is a remarkable book, and it goes through everything. It literally is like a micro environment of humanity. It has funny poems, it has deep poems, it has different style poems, it has amazing poem. Like all of them are amazing, to be honest. But it takes you on this kind of journey of like just like yeah, you open it up and you're just like, this is so cool, like you've got short poems, long poems. You've just got so many poems and so many different styles. And it just, yeah, it brings a lot of joy to my life to be able to share this with the world. And there are 2 people in this book that are no longer with us. And their dream before they passed into the other world was to have their work published. They always wanted to have their poetry published, and they never got the chance. And so their loved ones came to me and said, would you be open to publishing their work? And I said, of course. And so we have a mother who unfortunately died in Australia within a domestic situation. And then we also have a grandmother who passed away naturally over in America. And so, both parties have their work printed. And so it's an honor, honestly, to be able to give the families, but then also the people, like, to give them their dream. Like, I'm giving dreams even after they're past, and that's a beautiful feeling to be able to do. So yeah, this book is so special. Like, and a lot of people are like, it's so funny. They're like, I'm not really into poetry. Like, yeah, like, I like your book, but like, poetry is a bit of a stretch.
That is hilarious. Well, first off, I just want to go ahead and say thank you for all the work that you do. And I can truly feel in my heart that you are so passionate about helping humanity. And then just having everyone writing together, because I think I mentioned this to you before, that we are a collective consciousness. We all
Yeah.
are one. And once we all have that inner peace, whether we express it through art, writing, whatever, we will have world peace.
I look, and I really do agree, and I do believe that this is like that kind of point. Like, it's my way of bringing that consciousness up, of making awareness of how we can actually shift. How we can, when people wake up and they feel like life is too much, there is no hope. Like, this is a physical and material way of saying, no, there is hope. There is actual hope, and we can actually get through this, and we can learn and develop together, and we can change. And I deeply, deeply, deeply believe that the world that we live in right now is not the world that we're going to live in forever. It's up to us to shift. It's up to us to proactively contribute in a positive way. It's up to us to develop and to lift our consciousness. And and so for me, like, this book, I've watched those 24 or 23 participants, because I'm the 24th, learn and develop, and and be influenced in a positive way, and contribute and come together and support each other. And like, it's literally been this like beautiful nuance of like, I'm not doing well this week, and then others are like, oh, that's okay, I wasn't doing well last week, like, totally get it, so it's just, and I truly believe that this is just a representation of how we will live, of how we will coexist through the barriers, through the walls, through the national lines that they like to put around all these countries, and yeah, it's wonderful. And the other beautiful thing about this book is that everyone contributed to it.
Yeah.
Everybody contributed. So the cover was done by one of the persons contributing, Amber, who's like the youngest contributor. I think she's 16, and she did this
Wow.
beautiful cover for it. Actually, I don't know if I can
Yeah, let me see
share,
if I
but
can go ahead and put share screen on here for you. Okay, should be able to now.
there we go. Um, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know, right? It's
It's
great. It's so
beautiful.
beautiful, right? Like it's so perfect. Like it really is perfect.
I love the
And so
colors.
yeah, it's so cool. Like it's just kind of, you just want to, it's almost like a warm hug. I love that about it. So yeah, so one of the contributors, she did the cover for this. And then and one of the other ladies, she did the font for the words of the book. And then someone else, he's blind, so he's a Canadian man, and he's blind, and he's like, I can't really help you in any other way, but what I can do is I can do podcasts. So he's done this whole series of podcasts on each of the poets, which
Oh,
has just been so
wow.
beautiful. Yeah, it's been so beautiful. And it's called Between the Covers. And so it's about, interviewing each of the poets and getting a deeper understanding of who they are, and which has been so wonderful. Like his name's Randy, and he's just been such a lovely man. And so he's also a poet. And so that's what he did. And then Tarika, who is one of my friends, who was one of the first or second people I asked to can be a contributor, she's done like a weekly spotlight on each of the poets. And so it's just been really cool because you go onto the Facebook page and you get to kind of understand who is contributing, and especially the people that have passed. So like
Yeah.
the people that are no longer with us, you kind of get an insight into who they were and what they've accomplished, and like just these amazing, it's just been really cool. And then yeah, and so then we let another lady, Kyla, has actually done like the layout, and she's just about to load the book into Ingram Spark. And so like she's done like all the typesetting and all of that. And so it's just been like, honestly, it's just been everybody come together and physically create this book, not only contribute to it, but they've also had like this amazing invested interest in it, which I just think is so, yeah, it's been such a special project. So like I've been watching these people like learn different skills and contribute, and turn up, and they didn't necessarily have to turn up, and they have. And there's this Facebook group where we're all in, and everybody kind of talks, and you know it goes off a lot, but they all contribute, and they send photos of what they're doing, of where they are in the world, and it's just kind of, when we're cheering them on when they've got, like, when they're launching books and stuff, or they've got a life achievement, and so it's really building that community spirit, I suppose, in a way. And on it, and like I started this and I had no idea it was going to take on the kind of the breadth of what it has, but it's been so beautiful to see. So beautiful to see these people that I've never met. Well, I've met a couple of them, but I've never met, really walk into their own and let go of some of their fear, and shed that and be like, what, I actually am an amazing poet and I do deserve to be here. And Stephanie's seen that in me. And so now I'm going to run with that. And like, if I could leave anything to this world, it would be to inspire and to ensure that everybody feels that, they feel their worth, because it's so important. It's so important to know that you are enough for this world, that you're enough for yourself, that you deserve to actually back yourself, like, if you have a dream, go and live that dream. It doesn't matter what happens, right? You're going to learn something. And that's what a human being is to go, oh, that didn't work out that great. That's okay. I learned a lot though. And then go do something else.
Right, right. Oh my goodness. Speaking of dreaming big, like so we have a bunch of like family rules. It's a beautiful painting, and it has all the wording on there. And the one that's the biggest, it says dream big. And I remind
Yeah,
my children, because one's starting to read now, and he's like, dream big. I said, yes, that is very
yes,
important, my love. I said, dream big because your dreams can be realities. It's up to you to create it because you are a manifester. I said, you are a creator. You can create your
yeah.
desires, your dreams. I mean, look at you. You've already have books out. you know I don't know about you, but back then, like, 'cause I told you I'm writing a book currently as well. I never thought in my life I would be speaking on podcasts. I never thought I'd be writing books, or trying to write books. Who's this? So like you never know. You just gotta just do it. Go for it. Go for it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And you gotta like, and there's a level of vulnerability, right?
Yes.
With any dream, and it's okay to be vulnerable and to be scared and to have fear. It is part of the process. The more fear and the more uncomfortable you feel as a human being, it means you're on the right road, doll.
Totally. Yeah. Expect messy in the beginning. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just
right. And I'm
natural.
so glad.
Okay.
100%. That is so true. And I'm so glad that you're instilling those beautiful values into your sons. Like, that's really special. Not everybody does that. Not everybody goes, I'm going to tell you that you're allowed to actually dream big. You know, as a mother, you have the opportunity to choose how you want to love, support, and guide your children. And that is such a wonderful way to do that. Because like my mother never supported me in any of my dreams. And, like me and my husband actually think about it and we go, oh, I wonder how I would have turned out if I did have a mother like you, that
Mm.
supported us and was like, you know what, you can achieve anything that you want to. Like, imagine where I would be with a little bit of encouragement and love. Like, probably not, probably way too big for my britches, but who.
You're funny. I was actually having a discussion with my mom yesterday, and I was just sharing with her about how I really take my children's passion and I want them to thrive in it. So we'll get coaches, we'll get mentors, and whatever they want, whatever they desire. So I have two sons and I have a stepson. They're all my babies. Um, my youngest one, the one I was just talking to you about, he loves the giant squid since he was little. And since I was reading him the first book, it was called something about sea monsters or whatever. Like, but he was so fascinated with the big eye, and he was like, the eye, the eye. And to this day, he still draws pictures of squids. He'll explain to me the difference between the colossal squid and the regular squid and the vampire squid. I'm just like, I'm getting all this squid information. And then I said, we even went to like an Asian restaurant and like, honey, I'm going to order calamari. This is a little squid. And he wanted to try it too. He's like wanting to eat it and everything. And so I encourage him to be more
Yeah.
passionate about marine biology, like learn more. Like I want him to just dive in there and teach me everything he knows about the squid.
Yeah, and why not, right? Like, why not find something that you're deeply passionate in and
Yeah.
go and do it? Like go, like no, like it's truly, truly beautiful to see that. It's just like go and learn something, and then if you ever get sick of it, you can go learn something else.
Right. So remember back in 2020 when we were all on that pause. And here I thought, okay, I'm just a good massage therapist. I'm a good friend. I'm sober now. I'm married. I'm living a decent life. It wasn't until we did have that pause that then we started discovering more of our passions and what we like because we started actually doing them. For me, was
Yeah,
cooking. Okay, I hated cooking before. I think I would only make top ramen, mac and cheese, all processed food, right? All that stuff was
yeah,
just very easy to do. And then my husband, because he's South Indian, and so the way he eats is different from I mean, obviously the way I cook, because I never cooked anything like that before. So I went and took the time to learn recipes of what he likes, like sambar, pongal, all these different things. And then I started creating and just following the recipes. It got to a point where he's like, "This is better than my hometown food." What I said, "Well,
Amazing. That is a
give."
huge compliment.
I said, "Well, give it up to the actual author or the one who has the recipes. I'm good at following directions." I told him.
That's it. That's like my husband. He's the same. And I'm like, and then he goes, but you're the one that just like you pull all these different flavors in. And then he's like, how did you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, but we're not going to make it again because I don't know how I did it. So let's just enjoy the meal.
Oh, I know. So now sometimes I actually, even on my Instagram, like I have, it says my recipes, because I started creating my own now. I've
Yeah,
gotten to a
isn't it
point where I can create my
beautiful?
own. So you have to start somewhere, have inspiration from somebody,
Yeah,
and then just make it your own
100%.
eventually.
I'm like, but how good is it that, because I'm sure that you guys feel a lot better.
Oh yeah.
Like when then eat like and I understand because like we were in America at the end of last year. And I think the one thing that I was so saddened with America was that how processed the food was and how hard it was to find fresh produce that wasn't like covered in like I was so astonished that the cucumbers were covered in a thick wax
Wax.
and I was just like, why the fuck is the cucumbers covered in wax? Like, like like this isn't a thing, guys. Like they don't do this over in Australia. And we couldn't get it off. Like it was so we could not get this wax off. So anyway,
Right.
and like so we tried to go and find like fresh produce so that because my body was freaking out because my body's not used to
Right.
highly processed foods, right? So I was like nearly shitting myself in Walmart and
Yeah. Hey, I feel it.
like my body's like, you don't like this food, like this is we don't know what's going on. It was just having a spack attack, and so I was like, okay, well, I really need to get like good food so that I can stop shitting myself. Um,
Yeah.
and so we tried it, and the only place we found was like this kind of organic place, but it was so expensive, and I was so saddened because I was like, this wasn't about me. What I realized is this is what was available to the general public in
Yes.
America, and so the general population, and that this is what they had access to, and I was just like, that saddened my heart. That really saddened my heart because I was just like, everybody deserves to at least have access to high quality food
Mhm.
at a really reasonable price so that they can nourish their bodies. And if you don't have access to that and you only have access to processed food, then that's obvious and it's cheaper. That's obviously what you're going to eat, right?
Right.
And especially with time, because if you've got a busy life and you've got children and all the rest of it, it's like it's a normal thing, right? And I do agree with you deeply about that pause with COVID because it kind of forced people to come back and have a moment and go, well, what do I want to do with this time?
Mhm.
And I'm so glad that you found cooking because cooking is like you nourish your soul, you nourish your. But I also love it because my favorite time of the day is like mealtime because everybody gets to sit down, put away their phones, and just concentrate on a meal where we're interacting and we're talking. And so
Mhm.
I think that for me, it's always been one of my favorites. It's like that time of just out of the day where we just get to have that moment. But yeah, I was really saddened because I wanted to give the people in America food like freaking really like just normal food, not covered in stuff
Wax.
like yeah,
Crap.
like yeah, and like pesticides.
Pesticides.
Yeah, just normal food, and I realized that was it wasn't something that I could give at that time, but I'm hopefully one day I will have the ability to actually share in a greater way with humanity and
Mhm.
give people like food that is wholesome and organic and it makes you feel like it just makes you feel so much better when you eat well.
Oh
So but
yeah.
yeah, so But yeah, I would love to share a poem if that's okay.
Please, yes. I was going to ask you more about poetry, but because we're so cool, we get into these awesome
I
conversations.
know we do, right? And
But
I agree with you.
please, yes, please do
So,
share. I want to hear.
so this is the collaborative poem, and so I literally said to each of the poets, um, just give me 2 lines. So I was like, just give me 2 lines. I don't care what it's about. Just send them over. And everyone kind of had a bit of a momo because, everyone needs to have direction and they need to know what they're doing. And I was like, nope, there's no direction. Nope. Artistic freedom.
That's right.
And so anyway, this poem is really beautiful. So no one knew what anyone else wrote, right? So nobody knew what everyone else had written. They just kind of independently sent it to me. And this poem is really special. So the words are worlds in themselves, with the L is not about losing, but instead choosing to lose ourselves in them. As the sun rises and the waves flow, my thoughts and wonders are combined. Brave hearts open to feel the motion of life's flow. Sometimes may be challenging, but the strength to survive shines bright in the darkness. The wind blows ragged gasps and joyful sighs across hillside and sea, stirring the remains of all that came before and all that still will come to be. Life is fragile, just like new buds on a tree, awakening in the sunlight to the new beginning. Words escape the fate of all that remains untold, stories for the ages as futures unfold. Follow along a path stretching towards the horizon. Bask in the color and excitement of the journey. The haunting endures, carried through lifetimes grown apart. Epic journeys to know another. Saturated and content. Domesticated, plain house. But still enamored with the ghostly other. A lover of solitude I am, of mountain heights, of ocean depths, of space, so limitless that nothingness decrease it for its own. I now know that I can be brave. I will face the world head on and reveal in all of its terrifying beauty. Come around, river, let hope surround the sorrow, like a whisper sighing for the moon, embracing the wind through the water of your soul. River, you promise to come back in silence. Enlighten perception, my most prized of all possessions. Make a better tomorrow by today's progressions. Embraced by the ethereal essence of you, I find the shadow of myself again. The mirror I used to look up upon myself is shattered until I no longer recognize who I once was. We got used to it. The killers also got used to it. They are among us all the time. Every day, a mother watches the murderer who killed her son free. Anyone can murder, maybe. 24 people separated by distance, 24 souls brought closer together by words. The sweet promises of your love captured my soul, exhilarated by you that brings out the radiance of my being. Unify the voices of ordinary people and watch as a vibrant chorus is born. The sun touches my soul and I feel the feeling of possibility. We are just custodians of the world to hand to the next generation better than we found it. Sleepy sunrises casting shadows upon the land, illuminating souls looking to the sky. In nature, nothing exists alone. You are my flesh. I am your bone. The world appears that it is going to fail, but the people always fight back.
Wow. Wow. Wow, I'm speechless because it's so beautiful. Like I don't know what to say after that.
Right?
Oh, yes, because it just touches you. I mean, poetry is just another form of communication and more like a soul how the soul
Yes,
communicates, I would say, right?
yes, yes.
It's the soul speaking.
It is the
Yeah,
soul. It's like I've just invited you into my soul.
right.
Like Isn't that so beautiful? Like, so no one
Amazing.
knew what no one knew what they were putting together, and that's what came out.
I mean, wow.
And
That
all I did was I literally said, okay, I'm just going to go alphabetically by everybody's first name. So whatever your first name is, that's how I'm going to put the poem together.
wow. And it just came to see, this is what I'm talking about. Collective consciousness. It comes together like beautifully, like as if it, I don't know.
It was meant to be,
It was meant to be.
right? It was meant to
Every
be.
single line is beautiful. Like all
I
matched
just
together.
yeah, so I am so proud of this book, and you can now kind of see what I mean by like how special it really is. And like we have a lady who's from Israel, and so she's currently living through the war. And you know, it's just like it's even for her, she's just so happy that she's been able to do this because, you know, her life is just surrounded by, you know, chaos, honestly, and death and destruction. And so she's, you know, been able to contribute to this, but also see and push herself out of her own comfort zone and see her own self-worth. And, you know, and it's so hard for her because there's so much, you know, like there's an element of like we don't even know if she's going to be able to, you know, be alive when this book is, you know, come out.
Yeah.
That's the reality that that woman is facing. So, you know, so there's a lot. This book literally is a demonstration of humanity. It demonstrates the best parts, and it hands this to the world and goes, let this comfort you, and know that we are actually able to bring light and joy and touch each other's hearts and souls in the most vulnerable and poetic way. And so, you know, like for me, I'm just like, I can't believe I was able to create this and give this to people because it's yeah, it's really special. So thank you for letting me be here.
Oh, of
You know, I have so
course.
much love and appreciation for you. You are so beautiful. So I
Oh, you
just
too. I want to get, I wish, okay, when I go to Australia, I'm gonna go visit you.
yes, you're gonna come stay and I'm gonna give you the biggest squish ever.
I want a bear
Squish.
huggy. Because I just love your energy and I love what you do and I just love you. Okay, let's just say that. Okay. I love you, Steph.
I love you too,
Oh
Dina.
my goodness. So when does your book come out and where can our listeners go ahead and get it? Because I mean, everyone should be having this poetry book as well as her fiercely me here, okay? Get this one. Inspiration, memoir, seriously.
So you can get it through my website, www.mrsrowe.org. Or you can, it's going to be like on all of the platforms. So we're putting it up through Ingram Spark, and I think they're going to go put it out with, you know, through Amazon and, you know, all the rest of it. So essentially, yeah. So my website, it's and all of the other platforms, but we're launching it this weekend. So we're
Yay!
doing. I know, I cannot wait. So the 27th of April, everywhere in the world, but Australia, of course, is a day ahead of everybody. So we're
Yeah.
in the future. So we're doing it on the 28th. And it's going to be online, which is really cool because everybody's going to be contributing so they're either going to come online or they're going to do like a little video. And we've got a few like special guests and we've got a few exciting things that we're going to do. And so we just wanted to make it, well, we're still trying actually. We're trying to get everybody together because we think it's really, really important to actually bring everybody together so that we can launch
Mm,
this book and celebrate our diversity as being humans and for humanity. So,
yeah.
but we're going to start off by having it online. So that's next this weekend coming to the 27th and the 28th of April. And we're all so excited. Oh my God. It's so cool. And like I'm really proud, but my husband is an amazing videographer. And if you go to our Facebook page, which is the poetry page, The World in Our Words, you'll see the video that my husband did. And so each poet like spoke a couple of like a little bit of their poems And then he put everybody together. And so what you hear is like everybody's accents and like it's incredible. It's really, really cool. And so that's on our poetry page. So if anyone wants to go have a look at that, it's actually really, really awesome. It brings everybody to tears because my husband is amazing at videos and like videography to the point where like I cry when he does stuff. Like he's able to literally open the rib cage and just like make you feel so many emotions, and it's such a beautiful thing to do. So anyway, so that's also on there, and I'm very proud of that as well. So I think everyone has put in so much work. Everyone that's collaborated has really put their best foot forward, has supported, and that, you know, that all of these people didn't know me from a bar of soap, and like, so I feel so honored that they trusted me with their work, that they trusted that this was going to happen. I'm so proud of them for, you know, going out and pushing themselves personally, because they were all, I think a lot of people were a bit fearful that, you know, am I good enough to be a poet, to be a published poet? And, you know, so like that, like I'm just, yeah, this project is just so special in all different ways. So yeah, come along to the launch. It's online. You don't have to go anywhere. You can sit in your PJs at home if you want and listen to all these beautiful accents and people, and, you know, experience the world through this launch, which is going to be really special.
Oh, wow. How exciting. And even this podcast, it was meant to be because I'm literally going to release it on the 26th.
I,
That's crazy. It was meant to be.
I know, right?
Amazing. And amazing that your husband, I mean, that's why you married him, right? He
Oh,
captured
of
your
course.
heart.
100%. Like I like
Oh,
that he did. If everyone, not if everybody, but if you go to my website www.mrsrowe.org, I've got the two videos up there too. But he did one for my Fiercely Me book, right? So he did one for that, and I had no idea what he was doing. No idea. Like I could not tell you what that man was doing. He's very secretive, like, and he doesn't want to show you anything until it's done. And then that video is on there as well. And like it's black and white, and he's used all of this old footage, and it is absolutely remarkable. And I still cry watching that one, and that one's, yeah, so insanely beautiful. So like if anyone likes videography and they like watching different things, go onto my website, because I've put both of them up now, so they're both of the videos are up there. It's just really, he's just incredible, and I am very proud of him, and I love him very much. And I'm pushing him to get out of his own comfort zone, because he's scared. And he's still in that kind of fear place where he's like, I'm not good enough. And I'm like, you are very much good enough, and you are worth so much more than you think that you deserve. And so, you know, again, it's one of those processes of just going, you know, you deserve to go and be an amazing videographer or director. And, you know, that's something that you should follow. And I support you 100%. So yeah, it's really about empowering human beings and showing that they are actually worthy. And sometimes it just takes another human being to acknowledge that. And I've been fortunate enough to see the worth in so many people and to share that with them and encourage them that we are now in this place where I'm getting to release this book, but I'm also getting to take a lot of people on their own personal journeys. And I think that is just absolutely wonderful.
oh, that's beautiful. And what a beautiful contribution you have for the ones that are not with us here anymore. They are with us through your book. It's amazing. They are here. The soul will always live on. I'm sorry.
It
Yeah,
will
this
always.
it always lives on. May not be here on earth this time, but the soul will always be there. And so is your book. Oh, so will it be your book. So it's
And that's the
amazing.
thing with books, is that they will survive past me. And that's what, and like,
Right.
because people are like, why do you want to do a book? And I'm like, because I want something that will outlive me. This book will be in this world forever.
Right. Right. Yes, I love it. I will have everything in the show notes for our listeners. And congratulations again, Steph. I always have fun talking to you. So you
I
bring
have
so
so
much
much fun
joy.
talking to you, Keith. Thank
Well,
you so much for having me.
my pleasure. We'll talk soon, okay?